here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. I did a little scripting. Are you tired of feeling crushed by the weight of self-sabotaging behaviors like codependent and abusive relationships, people-pleasing, eating disorders, and depression? Do you find yourself constantly questioning your true worth and hiding from your potential? Do you feel like there's another better version of yourself just inches away but slightly out of reach, constantly being pulled just a little further away from you? If you find yourself repeating patterns of self-destructive behavior and struggling with low self-esteem, you're probably suffering from the silent killer of deep toxic shame, just like I was. I'm here to teach you the powerful technique of emotional freedom technique that transforms shame into self-acceptance and joy, allowing you to live a more confident and fulfilling life. That's my spiel. That's my spiel. I'm Taylor. I'm an EFT practitioner, a Reiki healer, and a CPTSD survivor. And for 35 years, I abused myself, and I had no idea why. Sorry that I keep looking at my notes. This is my first structured live stream. I'll get better, but I just want to make sure I cover everything and stay on task. I abused myself and I didn't know why. I suffered from eating disorders, codependency, low self-esteem, and was stuck in a cycle of abusive and codependent relationships my entire life. It was a huge mess, and I want to share my journey to help you heal your life. One of the first things I did to help myself was this EFT tapping routine, and it really helped me, and I'd like to share it with you. I was recently engaged to an abusive narcissist, and in the wake of the trauma of that breakup, I set myself on a path of healing to make sure that this never ever happened again. This was my second narcissistic relationship in a row, and it followed a pattern of me engaging in these codependent and toxic abusive relationships. And at that point, I couldn't pretend it was anybody else's fault anymore, because I realized that surely I had to be part of this cycle. Sometimes a cycle will come up in your life, and it's really a gift because it's calling your attention to something that needs to be healed. So you might have heard of the concept of shadow work, but we have these darker elements of ourselves that will drive us to partake in dysfunctional and, really bad behavior for ourselves. And every time we do it again, it kind of calls our attention. It's our body's way of showing us where we need to put extra love and put extra effort and put extra healing. And so for me, that was the gift of this relationship and this horrible man. Thank you. Welcome to the live stream. This horrible man in my life, the gift was that this brought to attention that this was a cycle, that I was the only common denominator in. Hey guys, 4444, that's awesome. That's my lucky number. So yeah, these cycles and these patterns of, dysfunctional behavior are actually a gift because they really call your attention to the places in your life that you need to heal. So yeah, the catch, was that I realized it was me and it was a pattern from me. And there was always a small voice in myself telling myself that something wasn't quite right and that I was playing myself. I knew my potential and I knew what I was capable of and I knew I was a good person, and I didn't know why I kept exposing myself to these toxic, abusive, harmful relationships and situations. Hey guys, welcome to my EFT healing tapping session. Thank you for being in my live stream. I'm going to put this video back up so you'll be able to watch it back, because this EFT practice, it's a practice of tapping on your energy meridians, and it's best done daily or as much as you have time to do it. So I will be listing this video so that you can repeat it and watch it as many times as you'd like. I really appreciate you guys all being here with me. If you're here from the Calendar of Creations magazine, let me know. This is like my first publicly advertised live stream, and Creations magazine was kind enough to include me on their calendar. So I'm really excited to get into the EFT tapping practice. EFT stands for the Emotional Freedom Technique, and it's what I'm going to be teaching you here tonight. It's basically acupuncture on the outside of your body. So acupuncture works by placing the needles into the energy centers and the meridians of your body. And emotional freedom technique, which is called EFT, works by actually tapping on the energy centers of your body. What do I do? I'm an emotional freedom technique practitioner, a Reiki healer, and I'm a trauma survivor. And I'm here to share my journey with other people to help them heal in the same ways that I did. So if any of this sounds like you and you'd like to learn helpful and free techniques to reclaim your life, joy, and peace of mind, be sure to subscribe for next week's live stream and to be able to replay this video daily. And in the description of the video after I post it, I will put a timestamp to when we start the emotional freedom technique so that when you rewatch it, you can jump right to the good stuff, jump right to the EFT practices. I actually already, yeah, the space between your eyebrows, you rub it and it's amazing. Yeah, so there's a huge body of energy healing work, and there are practices where you use your hands on certain parts of your body, and that helps you to clear blockages and let your energetic system flow freely. So your energetic system, you're actually like an electrical circuit, like a battery, and your energy after traumatic experiences and certain ways that you're imprinted when you're growing up in your subconscious can become stuck. So it's not like you have to really do anything additional. It's more about taking something away, clearing away the blockages. So yeah, short and crisp. What trauma? Yeah, I was traumatized. I kept getting into relationships with narcissistic and abusive partners because I had a lot of trauma in my childhood that basically made me filled with shame and told me that I wasn't good enough as I was, and I wasn't lovable, and I wasn't worthy as I was. I needed to be what other people wanted of me to be worthy of love. And that led to a lifetime of behavior where I was putting my true self to the side and in order to try to be loved by toxic people. So basically, you can become imprinted when you're young because you are so impressionable. And when people are mistreating you when you're young, you don't have the brain power or the wisdom to recognize that the way people are treating you says a lot more about them than about you. But I'll go into that a little bit more throughout the video. And that's how I got on my healing journey. I had a lot of trauma in my childhood, and that led to me basically attracting situations and creating patterns in my own life that replayed this trauma over and over again. So yeah, and I have a standalone video. My most recent video, if you want to go and watch it, is basically about the entire journey and everything that happened, and the really coming to grips with the fact that I truly hated myself. I was so ashamed of myself in so many different ways. I felt ugly, I felt fat, I felt unlovable, I felt unworthy, I felt unintelligent, all these things about myself that really weren't true, but they felt true because I was being informed by some beliefs and thoughts that had been put on me by other people. So you'll see, because we're going to go through it, and I'll explain it further, and you'll see through the process what it's all about. Also, in the description of this video, once I post it, and it might even be in there now, is my email address. If you'd like a written transcript of this tapping session, just let me know and I can send it to you. That way you have a reference to complete this practice even when you're not, around the internet, right? So please, feel free to email me for a transcript of this, and make sure to subscribe for next week's live stream, because this is a series that we're going to be working through weekly on Thursday nights at 7 o'clock. So thank you guys so much for being with me. I'm so happy to meet you all and share a little bit of the background of my story. And before we get started with the EFT tapping session, I'm going to remind you guys to hydrate, because it's very important to be hydrated for the electricity to run through the meridians of your body freely. So I've been hydrating for a while, and so I want to, tell you to hydrate now so that you can get a few sips of water in before we really get into it and start it. A brief history of the emotional freedom technique. It's based off of ancient Chinese medicine, which is an energy medicine system that's 5,000 years old. And it's based on the meridians of your body. And that's the way that energy, circulates through your systems of your body. And this man had a client who had I think he was a therapist. His name was Roger Callahan in 1980. And he had a client that was horrified of water, super paranoid, super phobia of water. Hey, Sunny. Thank you guys so much for being in here, by the way. I really appreciate it. And it's great to meet all of you. And I hope that this can help you feel better in your life. So she had a phobia of water, and he had been learning about acupuncture and the meridians. And I think she got sick to her stomach when she had to go anywhere near water. She would like freak out. So he had her apply pressure to the Chinese acupressure point for the stomach. And she did, and it like relieved her fear of the water instantly. And she was able to go in the water. So he put two and two together and realized, what if I, put pressure on all these systems to be able to clear up blockages that people have? And then people after him, throughout the 80s, started to realize that it actually didn't matter what order you did it in. He made like a very specific protocol, but then people started to realize it didn't even really matter what order you did it in, as long as you tapped on all those areas. So, yeah, that's how it was discovered. And so the best way I can describe energy blockages and they're affecting your life is like a traffic jam. If there's like an accident and a traffic jam on the highway, it doesn't matter how fast you drive. You can't just drive your car through the police and the firefighters and the ambulances and the car crash. As much as you would love to get past the traffic, no matter how late you are, no matter where you're going, if you're on a road that's blocked by a traffic jam, you can't get past it. You can't try harder. You can't go faster. The only thing you can do is clear the blockage out of the way. And that's basically, I'm going to lower this a little bit. I feel like I'm maybe not in the shot the right way. That's basically the way that EFT tapping works. It works to clear your meridians so that your energy can flow freely. So you're not gaining anything new. You're just removing blockages to allow that natural flow through your body. Yeah, of course, going through your parents getting a divorce when you're younger, it can be traumatic, and it generally is. It doesn't have to be anything, anything could be a trauma, because as children, we don't have the emotional skills to cope with things, and our subconscious. So when you're young, your brain is in, I believe it's a theta state, and that's why they call kids like sponge brains. I don't know the exact state. I think it's a theta state, but when you're in that state as a child, you're basically taking in everything like a computer being programmed. So everything that happens around you and in your life and everything that happens to you, let's say someone's really mean to you for no reason. You don't rationalize that logically, that that person is just a terrible person. You just think, wow, I must be terrible if this person's treating me that way. And so anything can really be considered trauma, because especially as a child, you're just taking everything that happens in your world at face value and internalizing it about yourself. So if someone's calling you bad, whether or not you're bad, you install that belief that you're bad. So we're basically like computers, and our operating systems are built by all the things that happen around us when we're young, for better or for worse. So, your parents getting divorced, a loss of love, all of that. I did feel something missing that you can't express. I had lots of mean people, but I felt like it didn't matter. But does it affect later? Hey, Angel, thanks for coming here. Yeah, all that stuff that happens when you're little. Like, people were so mean to me when I was little. And a lot of the times people are mean to you when you have something that they want, but that they don't feel like they can have. And so you internalize these people being mean to you as you're bad, as you're not worthy of people being nice to you, as you deserve bad treatment. That's really, as a young child, that's what you install into your operating system. But in reality, probably the very opposite was true. People are being mean to you for no reason. You probably had something that they wanted. You probably had something going for you. Now I realize a lot of the girls who were so mean to me growing up were actually just intimidated by me and jealous of me. But I internalized all those ways that they treated me to make myself super, super, super small. And I just had this life that I didn't even recognize. Meanwhile, inside of me, there was a little voice that said I was capable of so much more. And that's what toxic shame and trauma will do to a person. And you will carry this. Thank you. I'm really trying my best to share these messages with everybody. And I have a standalone video all about how I came to these realizations that you should watch after this live stream. And try to find the thumbs up button and like the live stream if you're in here. That really helps other people find my messages. And I'm really trying to spread this stuff, because this is a free thing that anybody can do. Once we finish this video, you want to email me, you can get the printout of what I'm about to teach you, and you can do it for the rest of your life for free. Everything that will help you heal and make your life better is actually free. Sunshine, fresh air, positive thinking, gratitude, energy practices like Reiki and EFT. Thank you so much for liking the live stream. That makes a big difference to me, and I really appreciate it. I put a lot of energy into this stuff, and I really appreciate when you guys help me out. You guys are great. So basically, it's free. It's accessible to anybody with hands, okay? Thank you guys so much for hitting the videos with a like. I really appreciate it. This is like my first like proper live stream where I'm really trying to do something here. Okay, another example, like the traffic jam. Your energy and your well-being is like a fishing bobber, right? A fishing bobber will float to the top of the water naturally. You don't have to pull it up, right? But if something is artificially holding it down under the water, it's going to stay under the water, right? You don't need to pull it up. All you need to do is stop pressing it down. So by tapping on your energy points, you can help clear the blockages that are held within your energy system that come from your thoughts, and it actually can help a bunch of physical ailments as well. It's not just about feeling better and having high self-esteem. This one's about shame. So this one is about healing a a condition in your mind. But people clear out headaches, migraines, chronic illness, because when these things get stuck in your body, they can really manifest into poor health. And I'm about to prove to you, right, that what's going on in your mind and the things that happen to you that you store in your mind actually really affect your physical body. Imagine this, right? This is a really good example, and just bear with me and really, really do it so that it actually works. And I think it will work because it's like already working on me before I even say it. All right? People don't realize that their thoughts can affect their physical body. More people are starting to realize it, but a lot of people don't understand the connection between that. And you scroll all day and you look at all this negative stuff and you complain and you gossip and you hear all this bad stuff people say about you when you're a kid. And then people don't correlate their physical well-being to these things that have happened. Do me a favor. Just do a little exercise with me. Imagine a yellow lemon, a bright yellow lemon, right? And now I want you to imagine cutting a slice out of that lemon and taking a big bite right into the lemon. Do you notice anything happen to your body? By any chance? If you imagine biting into a lemon, do you notice something happen in your mouth? Do you get it? Soft flying, oral lime. I know lemons are harder to find where you're from. We're always talking about lemons because we're always drinking lemon water. But do you understand? Your mouth will start to water immediately. Or it's the same thing if you start thinking, if you imagine eating something super sour, your mouth will start to water. You have a thought about a lemon and your mouth will start having the response that it will have if you actually bite into the lemon. For another example, if you start thinking about some drama that you have with somebody or a fight you got into or something that was really, really stressful, your heart will start to beat faster. You're not running. You're not doing jumping jacks. That person's not in your room. You were just thinking something and it affected your physical body. So correcting and healing our patterns of thought forms is very important for our physical health, because our physical health is our only wealth. Because without our physical health, it doesn't matter what we have in the world, right? So I'm trying to teach people that healing their thoughts and healing their energy will help them heal their body and help keep you healthy and able to live a life that you want. There's also an experiment where people do an exercise on the piano to gain strength in their finger, right? There's 3 groups of people. There's a control group that does nothing. There is a group that does the finger exercises. And then there's a 3rd group that just imagines doing the exercise. Any guesses? Any guesses on what happens with the people? The people who do nothing gain no strength in their finger. The people who do the piano practice with the finger gain the most strength in their finger. But the people who just imagine the exercises also gain about 2/3 of that same strength in their finger. What? This is a real peer-reviewed scientific study, I'm pretty sure. Don't quote me. I have to double check the peer review part of it. But yeah, so your thoughts can really, really have a huge impact on your life and your body and all that stuff, right? Hey, Angel, thanks for being here. So basically, your thoughts and the things you think and the things going on inside your head, like constant feelings of low self-esteem or constant negative self-talk, can really, affect your physical experience in this world. Okay, thank you, big getters. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. I'm working here, I'm doing my best. I'm a full-time YouTuber now, and I just want to help people. And the way I'm helping people is by sharing the things that I've been through on my journey. I'm not like any big expert telling you what you should do. I'm just explaining to you what I've learned and what I've done on my journey. So we're going to do something really fun, guys. This tapping exercise is going to be amazing, and it's going to make you feel really good. And it's going to teach you something that you'll be able to take with you for free for the rest of your life. So yeah, guys, one last thing I want to say. In the emotional freedom technique, in this process of the actual tapping, you acknowledge the bad ways that you feel. I'm not sure if you are familiar with the law of attraction and all the manifestation community, but basically, just like, your thoughts affect your physical body, words you say become the physical world. Every single thing that you're looking at right now started off as an electrical impulse, as a thought in someone's mind, right? An idea, and then they brought it into the world, right? Like the car, this couch. Couches started as an idea in someone's mind, right? Which was invisible. And then they discussed it and shared it with other people, and then it got created. So words are actually very powerful, and they are the beginning of creation in your life. So the manifestation community of creating your own reality is based on basically only speaking on the things that you want and realizing that every word you speaks something into existence. There's a quote that says you can speak life or you can speak death. So you can basically, the way I like to think of it is that you're the warden of you're in a jail cell in life, right? Your human body is a jail cell, and you're the warden and you have the key. And with that key, you can either lock yourself in or let yourself out. And with the thoughts you think and the words you say, you're really creating reality right in front of you. So that brings me to a hard part for me, at least about healing, was that I really had to acknowledge some hard things about my life. I had a lot of shame that I had taken in from growing up as a child. I had a lot of low self-esteem. And I was trying to just manifest it away by saying, I love myself. I love my life. I'm so grateful for everything. And being grateful is really important because being grateful really raises the vibrations and really purifies the energy running through your body. But if you have underlying negative beliefs about yourself and underlying toxic shame, self-hatred, no matter how much you say you love yourself and you love your life, until you admit that you hate yourself and that you hate your life and that you do have this shame and really tell the truth. I go into it very deeply in the last video that I posted, but you can't clear that out until you really sit with it and get to a point where you can acknowledge it and admit it. So kind of in my video, it's like, if you hate yourself, the first thing you need to do is admit it. So you can't just undo hating yourself and feeling shame by saying, I don't hate myself, I love myself, I love myself, I love myself. For me, it really took having to look in the mirror and admit that I actually hated my life and I hated myself and I hated what I was doing and I really needed to change. And what that did was, so that's kind of the concept of shadow work, and the shame that we hold, we bury it so deep because we don't want to deal with it. But like I said in the beginning, these cycles of self-sabotaging behavior and these dysfunctional cycles that you repeat in your life and you don't understand where they're coming from, it's like you're driven by an invisible motor to just compulsively make the same mistakes over and over again. I was dating the same person over and over again in different forms. So the negative beliefs, I couldn't, like you're saying, you have a lot of negative beliefs. I couldn't neutralize those just by thinking positive. I had to really admit that that's how I was feeling. It's like I was trying to outrun it and be like, no, 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 la, 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 la. But it wasn't going away, right? It's like, let's say you have cancer and it's giving you headaches. Just by taking headache medication, that's not going to help you. You really need to acknowledge the fact that you have cancer and fix the cancer so that the symptoms stop. So the ways that I was feeling were the symptoms, but the problem couldn't be manifested away by positive talking and positive thinking. Thank you. That's the thing. We all feel this way, and these feelings make us feel like we're the only person who feels this way, and we shove it down, and we all walk around in the world trying to act like we're all okay. And because we see other people doing that, we are isolated, feeling like we're the only people who feel this. I wanted to make YouTube videos so bad, and I couldn't, and I didn't know what was going on. And so I finally sat down just to admit, like, okay, I can't make YouTube videos because I'm too fat and ugly. I don't want my ex to catch me lacking. I don't feel like I look good. Actually, if you look at that video, I probably look so much better even today than I looked in that video, because it was such a burden. I was living this lie like I'm so happy and I'm so confident, but really on the inside, I hated myself. And I was trying to outrun that, but the only way to heal it was to admit it. And after I admitted it, it was like this huge weight off my shoulders. The floodgates of my life literally opened up, and it was so ironic. Who would think? I thought I had to say, I love myself, I love myself, I love myself, and love myself into this healing. But until you really acknowledge and get to the roots of the problems, which a lot of the times are these energetic blockages that are put inside of us by outside things, we're carrying around other people's pain. How people treat you says very little about you and says everything about that person. But your body and your brain internalize these things. We're humans, and we actually biologically have a survival mechanism that causes us to, I'm getting an SOS on my phone. Hopefully I'm still streaming and everything's okay. This survival imperative basically causes us to constantly search and scan for danger at all times. So we are hardwired to notice something negative before we notice something positive. So when people treat us poorly, or when negative things happen in our life, thanks, Angel. That's another angel in the stream. When these things happen in our life, it's very difficult as a human being to not internalize this and turn it into a belief system. And in turn, that belief system really forms the engine that's running your entire life. And it's like a fish that can't see water. It becomes so natural to you. This state becomes so natural to you that you don't even see it happening. But the cycles, the bad things that keep happening in your life, they're not happening to you. They're happening for you, because every single time that same thing happens again, it gives you, thank you, it gives you the opportunity to get real with yourself and pay attention to it. But you can also do the opposite. You can numb it out with alcohol and weed and video games and another relationship and losing weight. And, there's a million ways that you can try to fool yourself and outrun yourself. But at the end of the day, everywhere you go, there you are. And that's what I was doing. I almost married this horrible person, and I thought I loved him so much, but I realized that relationship wasn't a reflection of how much I loved him. It was a reflection of how much I hated myself. That was like a personification of what was going on inside me. Other people and situations in your life are actually a mirror. Everything in life is a mirror. And so within is without. Your outer world is always going to mirror your inner world. But when you do techniques like this, like Reiki healing, gratitude practice, forgiveness, shadow work, recognizing the things that are deep inside yourself, you actually are working to excavate that pain and to dig it out of yourself so that you can get rid of it. So in my other video, I explain, when this pain is inside you, it's stuck inside of you, and all it can do is rot you from the inside out. But once you admit, you're so scared and it's so painful, so it's so hard to admit sometimes, but once you admit it, you kind of get it out of yourself and put it in your hands. And in your hands, you're able to work with it and change it and transmute it into something better. And I really admitted I hated myself, and in that very moment, my entire life like switched upside down. And I was able to love myself and have compassion for myself. And I'm going to share this in another video about what I did to heal from my relationship with the abusive narcissist, but I videotaped myself talking about it and crying. And that did something very interesting. That triggered inside of me the compassion that I would have for another person. So sometimes all the times, we're our hardest critic. We're so hard on ourselves, and we treat ourselves and think to ourselves in ways that we would never think or treat other people. But something about watching yourself say this stuff on video, I feel like it triggers your compassion that you would have for someone else. So that was something that I did that really helped me heal this. And yeah, the emotional freedom technique is an amazing free way that's accessible to anybody, anywhere. And you can always replay this video. I'm going to put a timestamp for about 30 minutes because that's when we're going to actually start the tapping. And you can always come back to the video and click it and do the practice, or email me, get the tapping script, bring it anywhere you want, put it on your phone, and you'll have it to do it wherever you want. So I'm going to introduce you to the tapping points. Then I'm going to do an example round on myself because I have had issues with showing up on YouTube because I have like this fear of being seen, and I'll get into that in another video. But I'll do a example tapping for you. So the first things first in the emotional freedom technique is that we want to the first thing first is you want to get hydrated. I actually have to pee because I've been hydrating for quite a while. But you want to get hydrated, about an hour before. Drink as much water as you can because water helps, your body, everything flow in your body the way that it should. You want to uncross your legs and put your 2 feet on the ground. Like I have my feet right here because we want all the energy meridians not crossed over. And I'm going to show you the tapping points in order, right? So we start on the karate chop point, which is the fleshy part of the side of your hand. And there's really no wrong way to do this. It's very simple. And I really hope that you can feel what it actually does. We're going to rate our subjective units of distress before we start, our SUD. So your subjective unit of distress would be on a scale of 0 to 10. How much does this bother you and how bad does it feel? So some of you are saying you have negative thoughts all the time or you have trauma. Think about yourself and your self-esteem and your shame and your self-destructive behaviors and, how you feel about yourself. And on a scale of 0, you feel like you'd be better off dead. And as to 10, you feel amazing about yourself. You're a gift to the world and you're shining your light on humanity every day and uplifting, the consciousness of humanity. And just note where you are on that scale of 0 to 10 before you start. And as you go through the tapping sequence, afterwards, we're going to reevaluate our SUD, our subjective unit of distress, and see how we're feeling. We should be feeling better. I guarantee you'll be feeling better. How about that? And you use different tapping scripts and different affirmations for a bunch of different problems that you're having that are manifesting in your life. This one happens to be about toxic shame, but we can go into any of them. If you want to leave in the comments stuff that you're specifically struggling with, I can tailor my next Thursday live stream to specific problems that you're experiencing so we can focus more directly on the issues that you're having. And even if you think about something that you're struggling with and you'd like to do a personal tapping script, make sure to email me. We can work together on creating a personalized plan for you, and it will give me good ideas about, where to head next in my future live streams to help as many people as possible. So the tapping points, we have our feet uncrossed, we're hydrated, right? And we've thought about on a scale of 0 to 10 how distressing our situation is. So how much shame are we carrying and how shameful do we feel, right? So for me, I really healed my toxic shame. I'm really, I feel like I'm at a 0. I don't know. I just feel, and it's because I used all these techniques. So I guess I'm proof that this really can work if you believe in it. I've done a lot of subconscious work on my energy body, Reiki, hypnosis, emotional freedom technique. And if you subscribe to the channel, I'm going to share all of it with you week by week. So thank you for being here. And we're going to introduce the tapping points now. So first one, we're going to set up our affirmation statements, and then it's going to go in a position. So you want to tap not hard enough for it to hurt, but hard enough to feel it. And I actually prefer to tap with 2 hands, but I'm going to be reading from a script because I didn't have time to memorize it all. So feel free to tap with both hands or 1 hand. This is the first tapping point, the eyebrow point. Like you said, you feel good. That's your third eye. That's your, that's a huge energy center, a chakra. So you are going to start here, eyebrow. Next one is the side of the eye, right here. Yes, Angel, this is so exciting. So you do it on the side of the eye here, and we're going to do this along with affirmations. I'm just introducing you to the points. Side of the eye, under the nose, under the chin, collarbone, under the arm. Let me just make sure I'm not missing any. Eyebrow, side of the eye, under the nose, chin, collarbone, underarm, and then we finish off with top of head. That was always my favorite. I did this alongside an actual in-person EFT tapping practitioner for years. And I remember feeling so good when I was at the top. Oh my God. And some of the stuff I was going in, I had deep problems, man. I was a mess and I was crying and no, saying this, I love myself and I'm good. And I was crying and crying. And oh, I just look back to my prior self. I just can't believe how far I've come. And the emotional freedom technique, EFT, really, really helped me. And the more I bring up to people that I'm a practitioner and I do it, I'm always so surprised with how many people know about it. It's really crazy. It's awesome. And like I said, it's free. It's accessible to everybody. So let's get into it. I'm going to give you an example round on something I'm currently having an issue with, okay? Fear of being seen, fear of showing up on camera, fear of sharing my message with the world, right? And blockages with my voice, and my throat chakra. I'm getting so hot because I'm like doing all this. I need to like maybe put my hair up. Ooh, I feel really hot. Let's see if I have a hair tie right here. No, that's okay. It's all right. We're going to handle it. We'll just deal with it. So I created a tapping script for something that I am actually currently struggling with, which is the fear of being seen. So I'm going to show you an example. Here we go. This is how we start it. Thanks. I'm glad you like it. Thanks for being here. Thank you. I appreciate you guys so much. And after I show you my example, we're going to start off with a brief gratitude practice, a couple of deep breaths, and then we're going to work through your shame clearing EFT tapping. And you'll be able to rewatch this whenever you want and do this practice every single day on your own. And it's really quick. It might take us 5 minutes. We'll see. Maybe it takes 10. I don't know. I haven't run through your program yet. So here we go. I'm going to show you guys my routine here. Even though I fear being seen, I deeply and completely accept myself. Even though I'm afraid of standing out, I choose to embrace my presence. Even though I fear judgment from others, I am safe to be myself. Eyebrow. This fear of being seen. I'm afraid of being judged. It feels safer to hide. This fear of exposure. I feel vulnerable. I acknowledge my fear. I am worthy of being seen. I choose to feel safe being visible. And then I created another, and then we do another round. So I created another round. Releasing the fear of this judgment. Oh, no, sorry. Here. Releasing the fear of this judgment. All this fear of judgment. Feeling safe in my visibility. Embracing my uniqueness. I am confident and secure. I appreciate everyone who wants to hear my messages. I help people every day. Helping others access the healer within themselves. Guiding them to reach their highest potential and making this accessible to everyone in the world. Now you close the session with a deep breath. I release the fear of being seen and fully embrace my presence with confidence and security. Yeah? What do we think? So that right there is an example of the practice. So I decided to create one that I actually needed to show you guys, and all the different things that you can use it for. A couple of things I wanted to remember. Under the collarbone, you'll kind of feel like a fleshy kind of little sore spot. I think this is where lymph gathers sometimes, so it could feel a little sore, but you'll feel a little divot underneath your collarbone. That's where you want to tap. And then under your arm, there'll also be a sore spot, and that's generally where there's energy blockages in the meridian. So kind of feel around and find your sore spot. for the under the arm point, okay? So now it's time for your session. I'm really going to get a hair tie because I am so hot. I'm going to turn the air conditioning on too. I didn't want to have the air conditioning on because I didn't want it to affect the audio. But at this point, I'm sweating. So I'm going to put my hair up and then we're going to get into it. Yes. Oh my goodness. If you do this in the morning, I really want everyone to be doing this every day. But I know even for myself how impractical sometimes committing to something every single day is. And then that can lead you to further feelings of shame and guilt because you feel like you're not doing it enough or you're not doing it right. So what I really encourage you all to do and what I want you to do is do it as much as you can this week. And don't be hard on yourself if you miss it. It's fine. And don't be mad at yourself if you mess up the direction of the point, whatever. It's really your beliefs that affect how it helps you. So just believe that this will help you. Do it the best you can and stick with it, because even if you're doing it wrong, or even if you're missing it, even if you do it twice, even if you do it once, you showed up for yourself, and your body sees when you show up for yourself. And just like as a little kid, you saw when things weren't right and you took in when people were treating you bad, your body and your mind and your spirit will know when you're doing something to take care of yourself. It's like reparenting yourself. And a lot of this comes down to inner child healing work. And I don't want to get too off track because I really want to teach you guys a practice, but before I started all this, I intuitively started doing inner healing work. I bought my childhood toys again, and I really just nurtured my inner child. And it's a process of reparenting yourself. So before we get started this, yeah, you can message me on Instagram after the live. You guys can always reach out to me or in the comments here too. So I want you to take a moment to think about something you're grateful for, and let's take 3 deep breaths. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Noticing how you feel now, and then we're going to notice how we feel after the session. And you keep your eyes open when you tap, and it's really, really powerful if you also look in the mirror. A deep belly breath through the nose and out through the mouth. And now just take a moment to think of something you're grateful for. I am so grateful for these beautiful flowers that I cut from my garden. Oh, this one smells like perfume. It really does. Look how beautiful that is. And this peony, it came up and bloomed. I'm going out of town. I'm going to Nashville for a girls' trip for my birthday. It's my birthday weekend. I'm going to be 39. And I'm so grateful for these flowers. I'm so grateful that I got a peony before I went out of town and I got to enjoy this. And by the time I get home, it'll probably be all the way open. So yeah, take a moment to think about what you're grateful for. I'm so grateful for you guys being in this live stream. Truly, truly. So thank you one last time. Well, I'll probably say thank you again. But thank you guys for being here. Let's get it started, guys. And you have to repeat it with me, okay? I'll do it nice and slow. You repeat it, and then just let me know in the comments if you're having any problems. And I need to say, before I start this, the disclaimer. The emotional freedom technique tapping script provided here is intended for informational and educational purposes only. It is not a substitute for professional medical or psychiatric advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Always seek the advice of your physician or other qualified health provider with any questions you may have regarding a medical condition. If you are experiencing a medical emergency, call your doctor or emergency services immediately. The use of this EFT tapping script is at your own risk, and the practitioner is not liable for any outcomes resulting from its use. Yeah, from my garden. So yeah, there actually are no recorded bad effects from EFT tapping, but just in case, if you got problems that need a doctor or the hospital, go there. I'm just a girl on YouTube with a high ponytail, so it's like, in a Starfit hoodie. Okay, we are going to get into the tapping script, guys. I wrote this especially for you guys, And I can't wait to share it with you. Yay! Okay. Woo! Deep breath in through the nose. Make sure your feet are uncrossed. And we will begin on the karate chop point right here. Even though I feel this deep shame, I deeply and completely accept myself. I'll say each one twice to give you a chance to say it with me. Even though I feel this deep shame, I deeply and completely accept myself. So the first time I say it, the second time say it with me. Even though this shame is blocking me, I choose to release it now. Even though this shame is blocking me, I choose to release it now. Now we're going to start on the eyebrow. This deep shame I feel. This deep shame I feel. Always feeling unlovable and unworthy. It's blocking my happiness. Always feeling unlovable and unworthy. It's blocking my happiness. I don't deserve to feel this way. I don't deserve to feel this way. This toxic shame resulted from not being loved and accepted in the past, probably as a child. This toxic shame resulted from not being loved and accepted in the past, probably as a child. This shame came from the unhealed parts of other people who I trusted to teach me to love myself. They were doing their best to love me, and I forgive them. This shame came from unhealed parts of other people who I trusted to teach me to love myself. They were doing their best to love me, and I forgive them. It's been with me for too long. I am ready to let it go. It's been with me too long. I am ready to let it go. Releasing this shame now. Releasing this shame now. I choose to forgive myself. I choose to forgive myself. Deep breath. I hope you're feeling good. All this shame I feel, and you don't have to repeat every single one. You can just listen and tap through the points. You can just listen and tap through the points too. And when you're doing this on your own, you'll kind of get the feeling for how long to tap. Always feeling unlovable and unworthy. It's blocking my happiness. Always feeling unlovable and unworthy. It's blocking my happiness. It's blocking my natural ability to express my greatest potential and to make loving and healthy choices for myself. It's blocking my natural ability to express my greatest potential and to make loving and healthy choices for myself. Somewhere along the way, I was taught I was not enough. I was taught I needed to change myself to make other people love me. Somewhere along the way, I was taught I was not enough. I was taught I needed to change myself to make other people love me. I don't deserve to feel this way. I don't deserve to feel this way. This shame was learned from people around me who had shame of their own and who projected their pain onto me. This shame was learned from people around me who had shame of their own and who projected their pain onto me. I learned my true authentic self was not worthy of love and acceptance, and I hid my true self away. I learned my true authentic self was not worthy of love and acceptance, and I hid my true self away. I choose to forgive myself now and release this shame. I choose to release myself now. I choose to forgive myself now and release this shame. All right, the next 2 rounds are going to be shorter. Letting go of this shame. Letting go of this shame. Embracing self-forgiveness. Embracing self-forgiveness. Believing I deserve all the best the world has to offer. believing I deserve all the best the world has to offer, choosing to heal, choosing to heal, choosing to forgive myself and others, choosing to forgive myself and others, feeling lighter and more free, feeling lighter and more free, feeling safe in the world to express my authentic and true nature, feeling safe in the world to express my authentic and true nature, living my dream life in complete peace, joy, and vitality. Living my dream life in complete peace, joy, and vitality. I love myself fully and completely. I love myself fully and completely. I accept myself now. I accept myself now. I make choices for my highest good. I make choices for my highest good. I surround myself with loving and supportive people who accept the true me. I surround myself with loving and supportive people who accept the true me. These healthy and loving choices that I make every day, these healthy and loving choices that I make every day, guide me on my highest path. Guide me on my highest path to reach my highest potential, to reach my highest potential, building a life I love every day. Building a life I love every day. We're going to take a big deep breath through our nose, out through our mouth, and we're going to close the session with saying, I am free from shame. I accept myself fully and completely. I am free from shame. I accept myself fully and completely. Now just take 3 more breaths and notice how your body feels and notice how you feel compared to how you felt when you started. I feel great. I think that took us like 10 minutes, and that's twice the amount of time it would take you because you only are going to run through this one time. And you can either just listen to me saying it, but it's better if you say it. And I love these affirmations. I wrote these all today, and I love them, and I think they feel really great. Repeat this script as needed to release feelings of shame and promote healing and self-acceptance. Feeling way better, and the things you say are like you're talking straight to me. Big gooders. That's because I'm a magical angel princess sent from God. But really, that's because we all actually, look, I'm all excited. You got me all worked up. You see my vein. Everyone feels this way. The greatest trick the devil's playing is that we all feel alone in feeling this way. Like, nobody would ever believe the ways I felt because I was just smiling through it all and laughing. But in the inside, I felt like a real fraud because I knew the stuff I was doing. And I was like, nobody would think that I felt so ugly. And I still struggle with feeling ugly. And that's crazy. So you'd be really surprised how many other people are feeling just like you. And there's so many energy exercises that, like the one I just showed you. If this really made you feel good and you said you wanted to start doing it every morning, on YouTube, search the four thumps. My therapist used to do it with me, and I'll have to find my energy workbook. But she said she woke up in bed and did it every morning. This woman was such a baddie. Ugh, she's like, so cool. This one, this one, this one, and one other one. It was the 4 thumps, and she said she did it every morning when she woke up. And I'd like to start doing that because that was something I always wanted to do, but I didn't fully believe that this would help me at the beginning. So I was like, yeah, I was just doing it, but that's what I was saying. Even if you don't believe in it, the act of showing up for yourself and sorting through some of your feelings and having these feelings, you hide them from yourself. That's the thing. It's not like, you hate yourself and you're like, oh yeah, I know I hate myself. I'm just ignoring that. You don't even know because it's so hard to acknowledge and it's so scary and it's such an isolating feeling. You feel so dysfunctional, like you're the only one. And I remember just feeling like I was on the outside looking in at all the good things happening for other people. And I really felt like good things were for other people and I was just put here to just accept the scraps of life. And I mean, I'll get into it in my other videos, but if you watch my last full-length video, I get into it too. Like, my life has been really bad. You would never imagine some of the dark stuff that's happened in my life. And I really felt like that was my lot in life. Like, I felt like I had done something in another life and I had just signed up for a really hard life here. But no matter, yeah, and hopefully it will help you. Give it a watch it through, because if you're relating to what I'm saying, then like you really will relate to that. And it's really cool because these were like the most shameful things that I was so afraid for anybody to know about me. And in sharing it, if I can just make one person feel better, like you, like I said in that video, if I could just help one person feel better and have a realization about things and get to a better place within themselves, then like I don't even care about the views. I don't care about the likes anymore, because I know that all of that will come eventually on my channel if I just consistently show up and deal with my fear of being seen. I'll do that tapping script, That's the one I'm going to be doing every day because it's free, it's easy. You can do it anywhere, especially if you have no shame about looking like a weirdo. You can do it anywhere, like in public. I follow this girl on YouTube, Gala Darling, and she's a big EFT practitioner, and she would get people on her live streams to do it with them, and some of the people would like just like literally like walk over to a bench on the side of the street just to do it with her. And who cares about anybody else? It really doesn't matter. In other videos, I'll explain to you how everyone is actually just one thing. We'll save that for another video. But like I said, if you're judging yourself, other people tend to judge you, and the outer world tends to mirror your inner world. And it's just one of those things where after you're on the path, my healing journey took a solid 7 years. And so that's the thing I wanted to explain. I was doing all this healing work. I was doing plant medicine, Reiki, therapy, medicine, yoga, journaling, all that. Yes, Angel knows. I used to live stream since all this stuff hit the fan, like my first narcissist husband or my first narcissist partner, my first abusive, well, not my first abusive partner, but he was there. It was all live. I was live streaming every day when my whole life fell apart. And yeah, I've been pretty much, on social media ever since then, really trying to be honest with what I go through. And it's not that I was lying to people. I just was like lying to myself. So I didn't realize I was even going through this stuff. But I did all this stuff to heal and none of it was working. And I just didn't understand, but I just kept the faith. And things will happen in your life, like little coincidences, or you'll start seeing like angel numbers, like 4444, or whatever you see, or really weird coincidences. And once you start having some faith that maybe the universe is trying to communicate with you, and once you keep getting in the same trouble over and over again, and you start thinking, wait, this is a cycle. And the only common thing in this situation is me. So is there something I could change in myself? It's like an input-output situation. I've really found in life, if I change the input, the output always changes. And so I spent all this time, and I explained this in my other video, like doing this healing work, getting rid of toxic people, getting off of social media, but I still felt terrible. And it's because what I really needed to access to heal was that hatred of myself. And that was like the hardest thing to admit, because I mean, what's worse in this world than hating yourself? And the law of attraction and the manifestation community makes you feel like you can't say anything negative and you can't even acknowledge the bad things. You just have to focus on the good things and just put blinders onto all the bad things. But in reality, that's not true. For all that stuff to work, you've got to heal the shadow parts of yourself. And it's basically Jungian shadow work. If you search up on YouTube, Carl Jung, Jung, C-A-R-L, Carl Jung, Jung, and shadow work, there'll be a lot of information about all of that. I'll make a video about it too. I basically did that video I keep telling you to watch, my most recent video. And it feels wrong once you're so convinced that you have to just only speak positive and only say what you want to happen. So when you go through EFT tapping, you're really saying the bad stuff, but that's really to acknowledge it. And by acknowledging it, you almost give it the path out. It's like it's caught, right? Like, let's say it's the shape of a circle, this thing you need to heal. By acknowledging it, you're almost opening up that circle so that it can come out. By saying, I love myself, everything's fine, you're putting like a triangle on top of it and it can't get out. But by acknowledging it, because in acknowledging it, you're accepting it. And I have one final like little example to share before I sign off and let you guys go about the rest of your night and think about this food for thought. This is like a Buddhist tenet, but basically a Buddhist has like prayer beads, right? Like a mala. I'll get my rosary beads and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Hopefully it works with the beads because malas are made out of wood, but oopsies, what'd I drop? Oh, my frog. My frog. I don't know, Angel, I don't know, this was so long ago, but I did this live stream where I said I felt like a fraud because I feel like an imposter, and who am I to be trying to help people heal? What do I know? Who am I? I'm just this girl or whatever. I'm so glad you found me. I really am, because like I said, if I can just help one person, that's all I care about, because you feeling better will help another person feel better, and you don't know how far it goes out. And so really, we all can heal together by healing ourselves. So by healing yourself, you're healing humanity, because I healed myself and now I can help you guys. So yeah, anyway, I said I felt like a fraud, and my friend was on my live stream. It was like in 2018, and she thought I said I felt like a frog. She was like, why do you feel like a frog? And she sent me this little frog prince. And that's what fell out of my rosary beads. That was when I was in Hong Kong. I was living in Hong Kong and I was live streaming. Angel was there. He was always watching my live stream. So I have my rosary. It might be my grandmother's. It might be mine. I don't know. So, right? What you resist persists. So until you get to these feelings of toxic shame and self-hatred, they will keep on showing up in situations in your life until you realize and like heed the call to acknowledge them. They're basically little children inside of you crying, and all they want is love. And if you can love those parts of yourself that feel so bad, they go away. They heal. It's crazy. So they say what you resist persists. So if you're pretending, no, I love myself, nope, everything's fine, but on the inside you have this deep well of self-hatred, self-shame, it will persist. And the more you resist it, the more it will persist, because the persistence is trying to get your attention to heal it. It's the reason that these bad things happen, not to you, but for you. These toxic relationships, like you're left there sitting like, why is this happening to me? Why again? I'm such a good person. All I do is do good for people, but I wasn't doing good for myself. And it took going through that to say, never again am I going to be abused. Never again am I going to expose my children to this. Never again am I going to let somebody treat me so badly that I can't show up for my children. Oh God, I don't want to cry. It's a whole situation. So check this out, right? You have these beads. So when you push something away, right, and you try to resist it, right? When you push something away, what's going to happen when I let go of these? I'm pulling them away from myself, right? Look what's going to happen. They're going to swing and hit me right away. Right? That's what happens when you push something away that you're trying not to acknowledge and you're resisting it. Right? It comes right back to you. Same thing. When you pull something to you too strongly, right? You pull it to you and you let it go, it moves further away from you right away. So what you resist persists and comes closer to you. So the only thing to really do is just deal with it. I don't know. I didn't explain that as clearly as I would like, but I think you get the point. What you resist persists, and the more you push things away, the more they come to you, because they need to be dealt with. And I don't want you guys to live a life where you're just in a constant cycle and you're smoking and you're drinking and you're binge watching TV and you're scrolling on your phone. We all have so much more potential than that. And I think we all know that about ourselves. And it's this little voice inside of us when we're doing those our unhealthy coping, self-medicating behaviors, or even choosing toxic partners or begging people to love us. I think we all know that something about it's not quite right. We just don't know what's not quite right about it. And I really hope that I can help people a shorter path to figuring out what's not right so we can address it. And like I said, EFT tapping, we just dealt with fear of being seen. We dealt with toxic shame. You can deal with anything. This one time, one of my parents made me cry. I went into my EFT tapping therapist. You know, my parent makes me feel so bad. My parent doesn't treat me with love. I feel so unlovable. You know, and then you say, you know, all this bad treatment. My parents treat me so bad. My parents have ruined my life. My whole life is ruined because of my childhood. I choose to love myself and accept myself anyway. I choose to fully love and accept myself even though I've been treated poorly. Even though I've been treated poorly, I choose to love and accept myself. I forgive the people who treated me poorly right now. And you just repeat it and you repeat it and you repeat it. And this shit works. That's all I'll say. So that's your EFT tapping session with me. I will list this video as public so that you guys can rewatch it, and I will add a timestamp to when we started on the EFT tapping so that you can just go right to the session and you don't have to hear me. Yeah, I love you. Thank you so much for always watching Taylor Television. You guys are like my diehards, and every time we do a live stream, we get some new people in here. And I was going live like every day, and I was really working on my YouTube channel like full time, which I still am, but I went from like 300 subs to like 530 subs, and I was doing such a good job. And then I did this YouTube creator course, and I just kind of wanted to step back and really think about what message I wanted to be bringing, and I don't want to be all over the place, and so I kind of just took a step back to just make a plan, but I'm on it, trust me, and I'll be here every Thursday at 7 o'clock, so make sure you subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed the live stream, and I'll see you again on Thursdays at 7, and I will always make the video public so you can watch it whenever is convenient for you, and I will timestamp the EFT tapping session so that you can get right to it. You can watch the whole video, but you can get right to the EFT tapping, you know, when you want to do it. Please try to do a couple of these tapping sessions this week. It's my birthday, and it just turned 6:11 on the clock. Well, 66:11, but it's my birthday, guys. I'm turning 39 on Tuesday. This is my birthday weekend. Oh, goodness. So let's see. I have a couple more closing statements I don't want to forget. Thank you for coming. Comment with any specific things that you'd like addressed in the coming weeks, and I'll do my best to address those concerns so we can make these EFT healing sessions, I think I spit, the most effective. Yes, please watch my last full-length video. It goes into what I was struggling with and what this, you know, what these practices help me clear. I invite you to say one more thing that you're grateful for. For me, I'm grateful for the fact that my son's doctor appointment was canceled today, and they didn't tell me that, so I found out when I showed up at 9 o'clock in the morning, and he missed school. But, you know, like I said, you choose. You speak death, you speak life, or you speak death. You can either lock yourself in the cage or let yourself out of the cage. Instead of being all pissed off at the world and all these people and oh, this doctor and oh, now my morning's messed up, I just enjoyed having a day with my son. It's all about perspective and the way that you look at things, you know? So yeah, this morning, my son's doctor appointment was canceled. It was a mess, but it was fine. So I am actually very grateful. See, it didn't happen to me. It happened for me so I could have a great day. He ate Costco pizza. We went to Costco and we got these plants I really wanted. So it was awesome. And my birthday's on Tuesday. I'll be 39. I'm going to Nashville to celebrate with the girls this weekend. I've never been to Nashville before. I'm from Long Island, New York, but I'm going in the morning. I have to leave actually on the good old Long Island Railroad to go to Queens and go to JFK and fly to Nashville. I'm going to be there until Monday. Thank you so much. It was so nice to meet you. You don't understand, like, every time I reach another person, you give me like this fuel. And I get really overwhelmed and really scared. I was really scared about doing this live stream. And in my mind, I was like, this isn't even what I want to make videos about, blah, blah, blah. But that was just my self-sabotaging mind because I was scared to do something new. I was overwhelmed. I didn't feel like I could teach you guys this. I've taught people this individually, but I had a resistance to doing this on YouTube. So, you know, for as much as I helped you, you really helped me. And when we help ourselves, we help everybody else. And you feeling better just today will help somebody near you. I know it. It will. It's an immutable law of the universe. I want to remind you to hydrate before you do this, and just hydrate in general. But when you do your tapping, make sure to drink water and even pee before. But Definitely, I'm reminding you to hydrate and I'm reminding you to rewatch this video daily. And if not daily, as much as you can remember to rewatch it, please keep up with your tapping because we'll meet again on Thursday and we'll talk about how our weeks went. And, we're going to address all this toxic shame from a bunch of different angles for the next 3 weeks. So we're going to do it 1 month at a time and we'll focus on one subject every month. And then remind them that the transcript's available, which you understand. If you email me, I will send you a printed copy of the transcript and you'll be able to do it whether or not you're watching a video. Thank you, Angel. Next Thursday. It's Thursday, right? And yeah, Tuesday is my birthday, the 11th. So, yeah. That's my birthday. I'll be 39. It's my last birthday of my 30s. So basically, I had to regroup and think about what I want to do on my channel. And what I want to do on my channel, I'm calling it like year 40. So my whole life kept falling apart. These guys kept leaving. I kept getting married and divorced. I got divorced twice in 3 years and then had a failed engagement all within 4 years, which was enough to be like, all right, Taylor, girl, what you doing with your life? Because it's not them. There's no way that these three people could have done the same exact thing. Like, so that's really what helped me realize what was going on. But this whole channel is going to be about me reinventing my whole life from scratch, literally from the bottom up, and everything I'm doing to build my dream life over the next year. I want to see how close to my dream life in my mind I can get in the course of a year. So my birthday's on the 11th. I'm going to come back from Nashville. I'm going to sit down. I'm going to get my pen and paper out. I'm going to do my YouTube course, and I'm going to plan out, let's say, my next 10 videos, and I'm going to get super consistent about releasing videos every week, and I'm going to walk you guys through what I've done to heal myself from horrible trauma and rebuild my entire life from scratch. And we'll see how much I can do in a year. I feel like so much of the time you see YouTubers and they're already so successful, so you're like, yeah, easy for you to say. But I think it'll be really cool to see my journey from where I started. I'm not loving this ponytail anymore, as you can tell by the fact that I keep adjusting it. And I'm not hot anymore because I turned on the air conditioning. But I don't know. I think it'll be really cool and inspirational to show people the things I did. I did a lot of hypnosis. Hypnosis helped me so much. There's like a lot of things that helped me. Oh, now my hair's got bumps in it and everything. Ugh. Life, right? So I want to share with you guys everything I did to heal and how I'm creating my dream life. And I want to help other people get their dream lives. And I want to really hone in my skills on this emotional freedom technique and my Reiki healing. And I want to get people in real life to help too. Yes! Yo, you're awesome, Be Gooders. I love this. Yeah, we're going to do it. So if you, okay, so also another thing, like I want to make a video about, this is actually a big thing. I got off social media. Okay. I got off social media. Everybody's screen time, and I'm speaking generally, is so high. If we were investing, not me, because I fixed that. So I want to like lead by example. But if you took a look at your screen time and then used 10% of it to make your life better, in a year, you'd be unrecognizable, right? I stopped online dating. I stopped dating. I stopped going on my phone. I stopped watching TV for a while before bed, and I was reading before bed, and that was like the best thing I could have ever done for myself. And then I slipped back because it's like my comfort. It's like my pacifier, like watching TV as I fall asleep, and it's really not good for you, but at least I set the sleep timer now. And I've just been like a lot kinder to myself instead of being so mean, like, oh, you were reading and now you're watching TV again. No, no. We're giving ourselves grace. We're being kind to ourselves. We're speaking to ourselves like we would speak to a young child. We're reparenting ourselves. We're being kind to ourselves. And the less we resist, the better off we'll be, right? Everything that we're resisting and being nasty to ourselves isn't going to get us anywhere. We're going to be kind and gentle to ourselves. We're going to take baby steps in the right direction. We're going to get back up on the horse. I did a 21-day fitness challenge that I recorded that I'm going to make videos about. I got through like 11 days of it. My life got too busy. I wasn't doing the workouts first thing in the morning, but I'm going to film all 21 workouts and then I'm going to put it together to show people. It doesn't matter if you say I'm going to do a 21-day fitness journey and in 21 days you don't do it, or after a week you realize you're going to be off track because then you just give up and you throw in the towel. Like, no, even if it takes you a month, even if it takes you 2 months, you're still going to be better off doing all those 21 workouts than giving up. So we're going to be taking baby steps this year because we got this. We got this. I got this. And I don't know. I really feel like a real everyday person. And I think that my journey can help other people see that like they can do it too. And it really is so simple. The stuff that you need to, I'm on the journey to making $30 million. That's another story. But the things you need to do to have your dreams and have freedom and have happiness and peace and health, it's all free. It all starts in your mind. It's all given to us by God or the universe, whatever you want to say. Thank you, Angel. You're the best. Yeah, you said I should make workout videos. Well, I did. Just for you. But I have a little feeling in my stomach. I don't know. But, walking outside in fresh air, sunlight, thinking positive, being grateful, getting good sleep, getting off your cell phone, tapping, hypnosis, self-hypnosis, affirmations. Guys, nothing I just listed cost a dime. If you have legs, you can walk. Walking habit. I'm going to walk from Montauk to New York City just to prove that you can do whatever the hell you want every day. As humans, real quick, this is what I meant to do. I meant to print out my article that I wrote for Creations Magazine. I'm going to read it to you, okay? I did not plan to do this. That's my YouTube content calendar right there. I did not plan to do this, and everything is quite messy right now. But I want to read you something before I sign off, okay? I'm going to read you my article that I wrote. And I forget what jogged my memory. What was I saying? Everything that we can do to heal ourselves is free and accessible to us. I totally lost my train of thought, which is so annoying. But that's fine, guys. This is live. I need to read to you what I wrote. I need to read to you what I wrote real quick. And then maybe it'll jog my memory. That's like all the stuff I want to review for YouTube. It's a whole thing. Okay, guys. Is this it? I have to cook dinner for my kids still. I just heard my son come back from the gym. I was talking about restarting your life. I kind of I lost my train of thought. I got a little too excited, and please excuse the mess in my office. I was looking for something before I packed to go to Tennessee, and now every single thing is out. But I'm gonna read you this article that I wrote really quickly. And I don't know, I was talking about helping people, and I don't really know what I was talking about, but I want to share this with you, especially for be-gooders, because I think it's very poignant. And I wrote it, and it's the first paid article I've ever written. So I feel pretty cool about that. Okay. So yeah, let's do this together. This is for the autumn edition of a magazine. So I don't know if I'm allowed to read it to you guys, but here goes nothing. In the shadow of the seasons, create yourself anew. The theater of autumn is upon us. This is for the autumn issue of the magazine. The theater of autumn is upon us, ushering in new colors, a slower pace, and the silent drift of leaves' gentle descent back to our Mother Earth. A cozy respite from the blooming activity of summer, September sets its fine stage. We spectate and reflect on natural cycles, both those of nature and of ourselves. Nature's yearly performance invites us to reflect and reverence, honoring the higher order of life's unpredictability with profound awareness. A reminder that no suffering is eternal, these cycles guide us with faith that all which is lost will return again renewed. No creature is born free of their unique... Oh, that's what I was saying! Okay, so changing your life, right? Part of the most amazing thing about being the only self-aware creature on Earth is that humans are the only creature that can wake up and decide to have a completely different existence every single day. No other animal can decide to change their life in any moment. You don't even have to wait for the sun to rise. How crazy is that? You don't even have to wait for the next day. Just in a moment. And that's why I'm walking from Montauk to New York City and doing all this stuff. I want to show people that you can change your life in any moment and totally change the trajectory of your whole life. You know, an airplane on autopilot, they don't have to turn left to go somewhere new. If they just readjust their path by 1 degree, they'll end up somewhere totally different. So you can just make micro shifts in your life, and you have no idea where that's going to take you a year from now. You know what I mean? Okay, so I remember what I said. It's actually from a philosopher. Kierkegaard and this guy Gurdjieff and Ouspensky. It's like a philosophy thing. Okay, so that's what I was saying. A reminder that no suffering is eternal. These cycles guide us with faith that all which is lost will return again renewed. No creature is born free of their unique role in this cosmic symphony. Each of us are born to pave a unique path. Walking along, we aim to liberate ourselves from the uncertainty of this chaotic order. In certain seasons of life, we lose sight of our path. Compass shattered, we're off trail, disoriented from our purpose. Pain's primal scream wakes us up in our darkest nights, the winters of our souls. Yet by grace, even on the coldest day, the light of our universe never ceases to shine on its creations. A gift of duality, it warms us and invites all life to grow. In contrast, it casts dark shadows on our path. Only by braving these shady, dim crevasses of existence can we shine as our brightest selves. These shadows represent the lesser loved aspects of ourselves. Creating cycles of disruption and dysfunction in our lives, these shadows repel us away in fear while also beckoning us near. They deliver an invitation to dig deeper into ourselves, an opportunity to excavate our deepest suffering. They tempt us to live lives smaller than the lives in our dreams, desperate to keep us safe amongst familiar territory. Therein lies the hidden gift. Our shadows show us where our fear resides, teaching us where to send more love. Our path shifts towards our highest self if only we have the courage to answer its call. Growing older, our comfort zone gets larger, while our dreams and audacity to hope for them grows smaller. Internalizing hardships along our journey can break us if we allow them. We can either allow ourselves to be broken down or choose to be broken open. For 40 years, life broke me down. I was buried alive. Countless traumas brought me to rock bottom, where I finally met the darkness of my shadow. I was forced to sit alongside, instead of running from, the brutal self-hatred that had characterized my existence since childhood. Exhausted from the marathon, I allowed light through the cracks where I had broken. Only then did the floodgates of my life open up. I bathed in a rebirth, and the deluge of childlike joy and enlightenment rained down on my life. The shift from self-hate to self-love was palpable. It happened the instant I admitted the truth. I hated myself. I had nothing to lose, and I needed to grow. I humbled myself at the feet of my shadow, ending its path of devastation and sabotage in my life. I confronted my self-loathing and received the greatest gift in return, my true self. Life's experiences grow within us a capacity to expand or contract, to become a vessel for more joy or more pain. This choice represents the fundamental terror of the human existence. By staying open and prying oneself open again as needed, we claim the love and blessings of the universe. This is our true shared birthright. Life had completely broken me, not down but open. It's an act of bravery to let that light of love shine through you. This leap of faith will pay your soul dividends. As children of Mother Earth, the sun shines for us all. Only our inner narratives, informed by past circumstance, can convince us otherwise. I started a new diet, a mental one. I spoke to myself as I would a young child. I shamelessly abandoned things that made me feel bad and mercilessly pursued the things that made me feel good. Some days were easier than others. Day by day, I crawled out of the pit that life had thrown me into. My shadow cast the illusion that it was too deep to escape, but the light I let through the crack proved otherwise. The sun came in, the fog lifted, and now the future is brighter than ever. I share my story to give hope to everyone going through a change of season in their life. To those facing uncertainty and fear, this is the human condition, and of this no one is spared. On life's journey, we are free to choose our own adventures for better or for worse. Each moment is an opportunity to reset our course. Choosing to heal our shadows, we create ourselves anew, sharing our joy with others. We are each a beacon. Joined together, we illuminate brightly, blinding humanity to its fears. Connected no longer by pain, but by inspired visions. As we heal together, so rises the consciousness of planet Earth. A golden age of humanity comes forth as individuals face their fear, extinguished in the light of love. Love first shared with ourselves, then spread to others for the sake of the entire world. It's the wisdom of our ages, not the sum of our years within them, that allows us to make the most of our lives. The years make of us so that we may make of them. Take heart, life is good, and it's only getting better. Yes, that's what I'm trying to tell you guys. But yeah, it's pretty scary that you can just wake up and do something different with your life every day, because then every day that you wake up and live a shitty life that you hate, you know that low-key you're playing yourself because you know you can make other decisions. But sometimes you get so far off the path that you delude yourself and you just convince yourself that this is circumstances and you can't change anything. But on the inside, you know you have free will and you know you can make different decisions. So I think a great thing for us to do is end here, commit to your tapping routine, rewatch the video. I'll timestamp where I started. Email me if you want the transcript of the script. And next week, we will explore shame. You want my article? Okay, I gotta find out if I can send it out because I was commissioned to write this for a magazine. So just email me and I will make sure you get a copy of this article. It will be out in September in Creations Magazine. This is actually my live stream. This live stream is on the calendar in this magazine. And I just received the spring version. So as soon as the fall version comes out, I'll make sure that you get a copy, and I'll try to make sure you get a copy before that. That's the first article I ever wrote. Isn't that exciting? But see, all of this that I'm doing started from doing nice, being kinder to myself. The first thing, getting rid of that guy that I was engaged to. He, like, being with him was I was abusing myself, basically. He was abusing me, but I was letting him, you know? So thank you. Thank you for liking my article, and thank you for listening to it. I haven't really read it. I kind of wrote it, read it, sent it off, and I didn't even want to read it again because I was like, I don't want to be like, this is wrong, that's wrong, and now it's already at the editor, but that's a good article. And I could write another one. All right, guys, I'll see you next Thursday. And after my birthday, guys, I'm telling you, this year from 39 to 40, turning 40 is a big deal, right? Big deal, whatever. But you know, whatever. It's like a milestone. And I really wanted to have my stuff together by the time I was 30. And then I kept getting divorced. And I'd really like to have my stuff together by the time I'm 40 now. And I'm going to make that happen. And I'm going to do it live on YouTube. And you guys can follow along and copy what I do. And we can do it together. And it'll be so much more fun. Angel, you got it, guys. Get on my email list. Send me an email so you can get on my email list. And then you can start getting the newsletter I'm sending out and all that good stuff. It was so nice to meet you. Thank you. What's your name, Be Gooders? Before I go, what's your name? I know Jenny and I know Angel, but and I know Sunny. But let me know. Let me know what your name is so that I know who you are, and make sure to come back on Thursdays at 7. And if you can't make it, I will make the video permanent, so you'll be able to see it whatever you want. And yeah, stick to the tapping. I'm going to learn what the 4 thumps are. Sam, hey Sam. Nice to meet you. I'm Taylor. Guys, I appreciate you being here so much. Let me just find out. 4 thumbs, EFT tapping. Let me find out where the 4 thumps are real quick. 4 thumps for flow. 4 thumps. Lightly tap on both sides. Oh, that's different. Okay, so it says if you're stuck in your EFT tapping practice, the 4 thumbs can use it in the morning to wake up your entire system. Okay, here we go. Under the eyes, collarbones, center of chest. Oh yeah. Spleen point between the 7th and 8th ribs. Your spleen point. Ooh, you can feel it. You can feel it. Yeah, sweet dreams, Sunny. Good night, guys. It was so great to be here with you. And yeah, right here this is the 4 thumbs. If you want to take a screenshot of that, you can screenshot that. And that's something you can do before you even get out. Jiyeon? Anyang. She taught me the only Korean that I know. Yes, I will not forget. And thank you so much for being here in my stream. I